shirtless,
Yeah. Short, gym short,
shorts, no socks.
flip flops.
All right. Well, I just got that on camera, so that's
Oh,
how we're gonna
nice.
start this off here. Starting with the no shirt. However, today we
Hey.
got the nice button up,
Yeah.
nice pants on, and we will get right into this here. So, Cameron, I will let you take over.
Yeah, man. Today we got Mr. Tremaine with us. Pre his exiting from CrossFit Taylors. This week is his last week, unfortunately. But life moves on. We move on. We find other places. So we're heading down to Myrtle Beach, I hear.
Yes.
And potentially already found another gym. Yeah.
CrossFit Asparagus.
Nice. Okay.
Coach John Kim. But I think for me, the hardest thing is I started CrossFit Taylors. Like this is home for me.
Yeah.
So for me to transition into another gym, like just with anything in life, you got to learn how to progress. But as of right now, it's kind of hard because a lot of mornings I've spent here and, like a lot of things emotionally that I was dealing with, I know I could come to this place and, you know, pretty much be or have a better mindset leaving out versus when I came in. So,
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I tell most people too, because I mean, life changes for everybody, right? We have people come in, we have people leave all the time, because of moving and things like that. And it's like you're not gonna find another CrossFit Taylors because CrossFit Taylors is the people that are here, right?
right,
But what you will find is another community that will bring you in, and you'll enjoy that community. So you have to almost walk into a new gym with the mindset of like, this is my first time walking into a CrossFit gym. The only difference is you now have a foundation in the movements, the programming, kind of what to expect with CrossFitting, what your goals are, things like that. So, go into it with an open mind, right?
right.
Which you're social, you can talk to the wall over there if I let you. You're gonna meet people, and then hopefully before you know it, it will start to feel like that home again, and that place you can go to and get those emotional, like, hey, I'm having a rough day. Let me get through this workout, feel better, right? And you're gonna find those people you like to talk to and that like to talk to you, and like you will find that new home, right?
Right.
It's just going to take time. It's kind of like, I mean, we'll go back a couple steps. Like I know you play football, right?
Mhm.
And I'm sure you played on different teams. And
Right.
every time you started on a new team, it was like, I got to meet all these people. But then by the end of that season or whenever, it's like, these are my boys. Like this is my brotherhood again, right? And it's like, it's a different team than the last brotherhood you liked, but it's still that same way. So
Right.
you got to have that same mindset when you're changing, you're moving somewhere. It's like, okay, check out the options, which it
Mhm.
sounds like you did. And once you find that place that feels like home, like, hey, I want to try to make this, it's like, all right, let me just get after it and talk to some people. And you're going to show up, you're going to work hard because I know you do. Right. And I don't know any CrossFit gym owner or other members that don't like somebody that's going to come in and work hard. Like
Right.
if you go in and work hard and bust your ass, what you do every day, you're going to earn their respect. And obviously you're a good person, like to talk to people, and you're just going to fit right in. So,
Right. So my wife tells me all the time, I could talk to for her, I could talk to the wall. I could have a full blown conversation with Penny.
yeah.
So like my wife, she tells me that all the time. And I think to your point, it's just gonna take a little time to adjust because like you're right, going to different football teams, you slowly but surely start adjusting to the new guys versus the guys that you was going to war with
Right.
prior to you getting to that team. So I'm just ready to work hard, but always CrossFit Taylors is my home, and no matter where I go, this right here will be home. Like I said, I spent many mornings coming here. You've been more to me than I could ever imagine. And when I first got here, I didn't know what I was walking into. I just knew, all right, Cam, I would hear about Cam. Then Cam come Chris Duke. Then Chris Duke comes Jeremy. And then what's her name? Short Miss Lint,
Tina,
Miss Tina,
Linnell.
yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Tina, Miss Linnell. So I would see these individuals every day, and then it started making life more easier for me.
Yeah.
So
So let's figure where did we start? How'd you find CrossFit Taylors? What made you come in here when you first were like, I'm gonna go do CrossFit? Or did you even want to do CrossFit? You just found out about it.
so I wanted to, of course, like I was a bigger guy when I got here. So I'm like, I'm tired of going to the gym, bench press, squat, take 3 days off, then go back to the gym. So I wanted something different. And then when I got to CrossFit Taylors, I knew my wife and I, we were going to be married. So I'm like, I want to look good in my suit, like later on down the line.
Yeah.
And my wife will be the first to tell you, I will go to a gym. It's like, all right, after 2 workouts, that's it. I'm bored. So when I got here, she said, well, make it sure this is a gym that you will be consistent.
Yeah.
From the consistency, I'm like, all right. So then I'm realizing I'm starting to get small, body starting to, like somewhat come together, still work in progress. And, like just coming here knowing that I was gonna work hard, knowing I was gonna go through them tough workouts. So that's pretty much what really drove me. But Tiffany, it was Tiffany and
Corey buying it.
Corey, yes.
Yeah.
At a wedding my wife and I we went to, they told us about it and that drew my attention to come to you.
Nice. Cool. Sweet. So you being a bigger guy, have you been a bigger guy your whole life, or once you got into football, you had to start gaining more weight? Like what did that journey look like? Like was that like oh I fit in this role, or like coaches were always like you got to gain weight, you got to gain weight, and then post football is like, well now I got all this weight, I got to get rid of. So how did you? I mean, you're built big, like you are a big guy, but like did you have trouble gaining weight? Because I know some people I've talked to,
Mhm.
like they had to eat, they had to stay on, and some people's like I was just always big.
Yeah. So for me, like high school, I was barely 215, barely. I got to college, like the weight program. So I had to get up to about 240. So when I got to college at 217. My freshman year, I got up to about 235. And then that following season, I had tore my ACL. So now I'm eating. So now I'm getting to about that 270 range because you can't do anything. Your mobility is gone.
Yeah.
So the only thing you can do is just play a video game, snacks, or whatever you choose. And then when I got back, I started losing some weight. And then going into my senior year, I got up to about 280. When I got to the NFL, I had drop weight. And then their programs were totally different because you're forced to, like a protein shake at this time, a meal at this particular time. So from that point, now my body is starting to become more compact. But when football, the NFL life was done, now I'm just, all right, I'm going to go get me a bucket of fried chicken here, like pasta here,
He's just
like
used to eating.
burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm used to eating and burning, but
Right.
when you're not on that program, it
Yeah.
makes it that much harder. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I gotta get smaller. Then, like you go to different stores, they don't have your size. So,
I don't have that problem.
yeah.
But
So
I know I can relate. Maybe I
yeah.
can I can see it. Yeah.
So now CrossFit is life for me. And yeah, like I definitely I got to thank you for everything that you've done. Like you, the community. Like I really gotta applaud you guys for everything that you done for me. Not only just for me, but also for my wife and like my family. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I appreciate the thanks, but really, all we did was do what we do with everybody else. You know that we get in here of you wanted to come in and work. We just showed you how, right? And we just asked you to show up consistently and just give us your best effort. And I could tell from week one, Tremaine is gonna work. Like
oh yeah.
I you I don't even think you used to count reps, and I'm like, bro, I think you're done. And you just be working, and everyone else be. I'm like, nah, I think this workout's over. And you're like, no, I got some more. And I was like, I mean, you can, but like, you don't have to. And then like, but over time we figured that out. But I always knew I was like, this man is gonna work hard, and it almost to the point where we had to guide you to not do too much,
Right.
because there were times I know you've added running in and there's other stuff, things would start to feel tweaky, and I'm like, well, you're just doing too much, and it's got to be hard because you're used to that football program that, right, you said eat and burn, and like that's what you're built on, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
But I also know outside of here, you put that into work as well. Like
Oh
you
yeah.
work hard, not just in the gym, but outside of here too.
Absolutely.
So I know, and that plays a big role in kind of your journey here too, because you've come to all kinds of times based off of work and whatnot. So when you started, what were you doing for work, and is it the same now, or what's different, and how's your schedule changed?
So I've always been in human resources and opened up our business. I say ours because my wife has a lot to do with it as well. So I was always in human resources, and then we starting to like get more attention with the business, etc. So now we're like we're going to different places, but also if that doesn't work, now I got to pick up another job, I got to work. So I just never made any excuses. Like if I can put energy, effort, and time on working on my body, I got to do that 10 times more for my wife, because I will never allow any man, not even her, like of course, like her dad, etc. But I will let no man feed my wife because that's my responsibility. So that's the mindset when I come in here, and that's the mindset in the workplace. Like I gotta feed my wife. I'll be okay. Like I'm good with going without. But with that woman, no. My
Yeah,
job is to make sure I provide for her.
yeah.
So that's my motivation.
I can see it too. I know. I mean, really, we've talked multiple times. Of like, you're like, well, I'm working here, I'm working there. I'm like, well, you might need to sleep. You know, that might help a little bit. And you're like, I can't. I gotta do it. I'm like, okay, but I mean, if you're gonna come in here, we gotta make sure we don't overdo it. We don't want to grind ourselves into the ground, things like that. But no, I mean, if anyone that knows you has talked to you a long time, like they know you work hard. And again, not just in here, but outside of here.
Mhm.
Like honestly, you're one of the main reasons why we have a 7:30 a.m. class now,
Wow.
because you reached out to me and you're like, hey, I'm working these two jobs. This is the only time I got available. I could come in after I get off night shift or whatever. And I was like, dude, I don't know. And you're like, no, I need to work out. And I was like, all right. So we did a little personal training for a little while around that time,
Yeah.
and you were showing up consistently. And a couple other people had mentioned that it would be nice. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna send it on a 7:30 class, and you settled into that class for a while, and now you're back to 5:30 a.m., which is even earlier, which is crazy. But I know you've worked at almost every time that you've been here.
Right.
Just like you said, it's you got to get it done, and you don't care how tired you are. You're going to go to the gym one way or another.
Mhm.
And I think I've seen you at 5:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. just alike.
Yeah. It was I think one thing a lot of one of the aspects people don't really know about me is, like it's been times where my wife and I, like we take care of everything that we got to take care of, and then like somehow we short on something. So it was just like, you know what? Nah, like if I got to provide this, I'm gonna make sure I do this. But when I go to the gym, I turn into a Superman when really I'm still hurting, because I got to make this happen, like because this is what I signed up to do. I signed up to be a husband, I signed up to be an athlete. So the things that you run, like that you run into, sometimes the financials, so um I've come in here plenty of times like hungry, but people will never know. The only
Yeah.
way you would know is if you look at what I'm lifting. If I'm in, like if I have my AirPods in, I'm mad. Like
Yeah.
I'm mad because like I'm hungry, but
Yeah.
I'm hungry enough to make sure this is done.
Yeah.
I deal with everything else outside of it, but
Do you feel like when you work out, because I know personally for me, it changes how I feel. Like, do you feel like once you come in and you get that aggression out, like you get to like breathe, think better, like the rest of the day, kind of process things? Like, does
right.
that is that the gym for you? Is
Yes.
that
Because sure enough, like with us men, us having families, right? Every
yeah,
family they have something, regardless to what it may be. You come in with a lot of aggressions because like you can only control but so much. And what you can control is okay, my sanity, but you can't control like when this bill is due, like they knocking at your door or etc. So the things that you can control to get the aggression out, I think is best. And then after that workout, it's like I would have done something stupid if I didn't get this out in this particular way. So
yeah?
yeah.
So you definitely use the gym as like a stress reliever
Hmm.
slash like feel good later
Yeah.
type of like, yeah, like I'd beat somebody up, but I'm gonna go bench press 405 instead.
Right. Yeah, I'd rather hit weights than people. I'll put it that way.
I'll say you're the first person I've ever met in a CrossFit gym that I don't think it matters what lift we're doing. I'm like, all right, let's hit some warm up reps. First thing Tremaine grabs, 45s. Boom. Doesn't matter the lift. I'm like, all right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that looked easy. All right, second warm up set, another set of 45s. Boom. Oh, I said a warm up set. Oh, yeah, all right, that's a warm up set. Yep. All right. Okay. Well, now we gotta be smart. What do we? I mean, you move weight, bro. You do, and it's impressive. And it's, I know it's years of training and it's built up, but I honestly I've never seen it before, and I don't know if I'll ever see it again. Of just like we're doing strict press, okay, 45s and then 45, and I'm like, all right, like, and then he'll come over and be like, what else do you think I should do? And I'm like, bro, I do not understand your strength. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just going to throw a number at you and we're going to see how it goes, which has been most of the time.
Hmm.
And you usually still lift it. And sometimes you don't even know what's on the bar. You're like, how much is that? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't put it on. Like, you put the weights on there
I,
and then we'll math it. And then you'll be like, oh, I didn't even realize that was that much. And I'm like, yeah, well, looks like you could add some more if you want to.
I promise you, like my wife, she told me, and I tell my wife all the time too. Like she'll be like, "Hey, massage this," so I do it. That's too hard. Like to me, I thought it was light,
Yeah.
and then I told her I'm afraid I don't know my own strength. Like I don't. Like for everyone that's watching, when you see me live, I promise you, I don't know.
And I'll
I
vouch
don't
for
know.
it because literally, like every time I coach you, it's, hey, what do you think? What else do you think I should do? Or what is that? Or what, and I'm like, I don't know. And I'll throw a number at you and you'll do it usually like 99% of the time. And I'll be like, I probably should have told him more. And rarely do I come over in the middle of workout and be like, hey, let's take some weight off. And it's usually a technique thing, like a clean or a snatch.
Mhm.
But if it's a raw power, squat, press, something, like you're moving through it. And the other thing that's impressive about you, like I've seen people move weight, but your agility and athleticism, like I remember the first time we had 30-inch box jumps.
Oh yeah.
And you were like, you put the 30-inch box jump, and I like looked at you, and then I was like, I don't know, because I don't remember what the workout was, but I remember. And then I was like, what should I do with everyone? Hey, show me a rep or two. And you boop, and I was like, all right, you're good. Like it was
It
just,
was Squat-tober.
was
That's what
it?
it was.
Okay.
It was Squat-tober. Um, I think I just did. Was it like 340 something? It was like
Probably
somewhere around
over
that.
315. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And then
Then we had like a box jump and something
box jump,
workout.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was clearing it.
Yeah, up on top and over and like no problem. And I was like, all right, we're good. Like, I mean, because that box jump is the thing that it can be devastating if you trip and fall and whatnot. And but
Mhm.
like you do know your athletic abilities, and I've learned like, all right, I'm really not going to question Tremaine on what he's choosing to do unless we get halfway through a workout and it's starting to look bad, because I know you don't want to get hurt too. And really, you don't care about the scoreboard. You really don't. Like the weights don't matter, the times don't matter. Like you just want to work.
Yeah,
And so it's like, hey, okay, like you don't care if you click the RX button or scaled button or not. Like it's just like, cool, you had a 50. If I brought you a 20 and I was like, finish the workout with this, you do it.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Like you would just be like, all right, like this, he thinks this is best for me. I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna keep grinding.
Mhm.
And that's what we've done multiple times. And it it says a lot about your character, because it's like a lot of people come in here, their ego gets in the way. You have the ability to let your ego get in the way, and you don't,
Right.
because you do move the weights and you do certain things that a lot of people can't do, but you could care less. Like you might outlift the entire gym and not even put in sugar wad. Like you don't care. Like
Right.
it really does not matter to you. And also you could scale every single movement in a workout, and you might be the sweatiest, most tired person by the end of that workout. And you might not even counted your rounds, your reps, nothing, but you worked for 20 minutes or whatever
Mhm.
and ended up on the floor. I don't even know
Right.
if I actually ever seen you on the floor. You tend to always walk
Wh-
away.
oh man, when we first started, this is all right. So the Cam, when I first started, I'm like Cam, because the question was, all right, what's your goal?
Yeah.
So man, my goal was I want to lose, I think 40 something pounds. Okay, we gonna do that, but it takes time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I'm ready to get to it now. This.
I want to do 3 a days.
And then after that, after like I had to really start taking in the coaching. Like, okay, I know what you used to, but this right here is going to take time. I couldn't do a total bar. I was afraid to do like the overhead push-ups because I'm thinking I'm gonna go through the wall. um,
Yeah.
I couldn't do double unders. I couldn't even run a mile. And then as time started to progress, it was like, okay, now I got it.
Yeah.
Now I got it. Now I got it. So I just want to do it, like the consecutives with the total bars, because I could give you four straight. But after the four, it's like, all right, I gotta get down, go back up, get down, go back up. But the progression, man, long as you progressing,
Yeah.
like that's the only thing that really matters the most.
Yeah. And again, we came in, what were the goals? Wanted to lose weight, and you were still training for football because you're playing arena football.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, don't want to be injured, right? Um, but then there's also things you need for football, right? It couldn't
Right.
be, all right, we're not going to lift any weights. Like
Right.
we had to still lift some weights. We still had to throw some stuff in there. So, um, yeah, man, it's been a journey, and I know your journey is still going to keep going because, like you said, CrossFit's life for you right now.
Right.
Like that's where you get your aggression out, your athleticism. You get to go in and just work hard. I'm excited for your future with CrossFit because you've started to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
You got more I know you want to lose, but like just the progression of things that's going to come from that, like
Right.
your handstand push-ups, your pull-ups, your toe to bar, like those things are going to start to get better. And like we're just going to keep seeing this Tremaine that who knows where he's going to go or what he's going to do. And that's pretty cool. And I know you already talked to the coach down there at the new spot, and he asked you what your goals were, and kind of already y'all got a little plan going. So
Man, yeah, his is like, I'm gonna get you shredded. Just come in,
hey, if you get a
just
six
teach.
pack, can you send me a photo?
I got you.
All right.
I got you. In fact, I'm gonna have a CrossFit Taylor shirt. I'm gonna roll
Roll
it
it
up,
up. All
and
right.
then but yeah, I know that they got apparel and all of that stuff too. But when I went to the gym that Monday, I still had my CrossFit Taylor shirt on because I never forgot about home.
Yeah. Well, get some of their gear too. But yeah, don't forget about us.
Nah, I never
Yeah, send
forget.
me some photos and things
I
too.
got you.
For sure. Um, so on another topic
Hmm.
of CrossFit,
Hmm.
you've done Murph every year.
Right.
You've ground through Murph every year.
Right.
I remember the first year, the puddle that was on the floor. I was like, I had to get the machine out,
Yeah, it was definitely a
mop the floor.
whirlpool.
But that's something that's important to you.
Yeah.
That's like in your heart, you're like, this is I got to do this workout.
Hmm.
Did you know about it before CrossFit, or is
No.
it just you got introduced to it and then you just like the idea, the concept of it, or like what about Murph gets you going? Because you gonna grab a vest, you're gonna go for runs,
Hmm.
you're gonna get prepared for Murph. So like, what about that is like, yeah, I'm doing this.
One, I never knew anything about Murph till I got to CrossFit, and I remember when I first, like the first time me doing it, it was tough. Like I didn't know like 100. Well, we had 100 pull ups,
Yeah, 200
200
push-ups.
push ups, and 300 air squats. So I'm like, next year, okay, I know how I want to prepare myself. But it was so much of a motivation because of the meaning behind it.
Right.
And just to put it in the CrossFit terminology, it was like, okay, I really want to do this. I want to master it every time that like that I make the attempt to do it. So
Yeah.
the motivation is to have a better time from last year. Just continue to embark on that because I feel like in life you go through some tough stages, but if you could go through that, that's
Yeah.
the physical side. You'll be able to go through
Yeah.
like through that perception of life.
Yeah. I feel like we kind of have the same mindset when it comes to the gym. And I saw a post the other day on Instagram that was like, the gym's not about getting stronger. It's about getting you prepared to get through the shit life throws at you.
Mhm.
Because like this is where we get to do the hard stuff and grind through stuff. And then when we run into it out in life, it's like, oh, I've already done that, or I've done some hard stuff today or this week. So it's like, this is just another obstacle that I'm going to put my head down and get through.
Mhm.
Right. And I know we've had those conversations too of like going through tough times with owning a business, running a business.
Yes.
And we've sat down and talked for many times like, hey man,
Mhm.
it's just it's an obstacle. We're gonna have ups and downs, and we're gonna you're gonna get through this valley, and there's gonna be a peak, right?
Mhm.
And you'll figure it out because you're a smart dude, and you always do. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good grind, and it's a good way to have that in your head of like, I'm gonna do some hard stuff. I want to make sure I do some hard stuff, so that way outside of here, I can get through some hard other stuff. You know?
Right. Yeah. I'm just thankful, man. Just like the space alone. I learned so much from you. Like in my would have been 3 years. Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from you. And then of course, like learn from Chris, then from Jeremy, then Miss Tina, Miss Linnell, now Jacob. What's the
What about Nate? Has Nate taught you anything?
Nate taught me a lot. Nate taught me a lot. Nate, and then with Claire. Now, with Coach Claire, if you are doing what we had the competition thing,
Which one? The in-house? The
the
open?
open,
Yeah.
yes,
Uh-oh.
I'm doing the pull-ups.
Uh,
Doesn't count. I said, Jesus Christ.
she
Oh,
told me about that. She's like, I felt so bad, but I had to know right from I was
yeah.
like, he didn't care. You wanted to do it right.
Right.
That's what I love about Tremaine. Like, you're not looking to cut a corner. You want to know if you legit did it or not.
Mhm.
And Claire's gonna tell you if you did it or not.
Oh yeah, she's definitely gonna do that.
Yeah.
But he's gonna do it too, though.
Oh
Nate
yeah.
is definitely
Yeah.
gonna do it too.
Yeah.
Nate they walk by. Good job. Yeah, you might want to work on that. So yeah, that's Nate, man.
Yeah.
That is Nate. But I've learned so much from a lot of the guys here, man.
What's like one of the top things in your head that you feel like pre CrossFit you didn't have in the bank, and now you after your 3 years, like what's something you feel like you can take away moving forward? Not that you're done with CrossFit, but like what's something that like is different from training before, working out before, kind of your ideas of fitness, and then now that you've been here for 3 years, how has that kind of changed? Like what are some top things you can think of?
So before I got to CrossFit, accountability. So you holding yourself accountable for the bench press, the squats, the what we got, the George Foreman's, like you put you got the bar down, you just
Yeah.
they call it the
Preacher
preachers.
curl. Yeah. Yeah.
Um that's it. So like in the football world, like that's the only things like you'll run every now and then, but you're not running consecutively.
Yeah.
Now, CrossFit, all right, yeah, I'm benching, but now I know how to breathe through versus just doing it. I know how to squat now. I know how to brace. Football, when you squat, they don't tell you the technique of hips back first, and then they don't teach you that. So like here, like, all right, hips back, brace your core, chest up to the wall and go. Um Football players, we don't really jump rope like that. Well, receivers, running backs, they do that. They guys like, nah,
Just moving
you
weight.
just move weight. Double unders, jump ropes, that's in my bag. Overhead push-ups. For one, a football player is never going to be an emotion of he has to flip over. Like you got the Saquon Barkley's where he's jumping over people,
Yeah.
um, but those movements is more fluid, like because of CrossFit. I had the strength, but I didn't have the strength that I have now. If that makes sense.
So you could say you changed, which makes sense, right? In football, they are training you for things on the football field.
Correct.
Here's what you need to be strong at. But now you've been introduced to more stuff that will help hopefully make you better, more well-rounded, let's say,
Mhm.
for all kinds of things, or just challenge you differently, right? Like
Right.
different body parts and different, like, yeah, like the wide receivers were the runners. Well, hey, we don't got wide receivers and linemen in here. We all running, like we're all doing it, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it's good for you, right? And I think that's something which you kind of fell in love with was running.
Right.
Like during last year, I put out that whole running. You know, the challenge when I signed up for the marathon, and you ended up running a 5K,
Right.
right? Had you ever run a 5K before that?
No.
What's the furthest you ever ran?
From the bedroom to the refrigerator. But
I will say this: you just started. Like I started running with Tiff, and you were like, "I'm gonna start running too."
yeah.
And all of a sudden, you were just running a mile, and then you're like, "I'm gonna try to run 2 miles." I was like, "Let's try a mile and a half first. Like,
Yeah.
you know, let's build it up." But I think you took the challenge personally, and you grabbed onto it because you also knew your wedding was coming up, and it would be a good way to lose weight. But like, it was cool to see you grab onto running.
Correct.
And like, this is a challenge for me because I am a bigger guy, but I'm gonna do this thing. You know what I mean?
And still currently, like, one name too, TJ.
Yeah.
TJ, like, after the workout, all right, you ready? We'll walk up to the hill. Time to go for a mile. And he told me the last time, he said, man, thank you for giving me a reason to still, like, love running. But my thing is, no, thank you for taking the time out to run with me.
Yeah.
So,
He got to share something with you, but you were sharing something with him too.
yeah.
That's awesome.
So, TJ, if you're watching, thank you, man.
Yeah, for sure. And again, like that's what's cool about community and different things, right? Like you decided to do something, other people want to support you, they did it with you, then they like it again. They're like, oh yeah, I forgot how much I like this, right? But then you went out and ran a 5K
Yeah.
at the event without stopping.
Mm-hmm.
You ran the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was still like 10 miles in, and Tremaine's like, hey, where you at? I'm like, not even halfway, brother. But you wanted to let me know that you crushed it, and that was awesome. I mean, I can't. Robbie and I were all. It was one of our walking intervals, and I remember reading that text and just be like, "Fuck yeah!" Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like just because I know you put in the work. I saw you 2-3 times a week coming out here and just running miles and like getting prepared, getting ready. And so to see you take that challenge and say, "Hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna sign up for it. I'm gonna make it happen," and stick with it
Right.
was really cool.
It was fun. Leading up to that, I would see you and Tiff, like, yo, y'all would run from the gym. Like, I want to say that was like towards the library right there.
Yeah, we went all the way to Wade Hampton and back.
Oh,
Yeah,
and back. So that was motivating. Like that was so much of a motivation factor for me. And I'm like, okay, I want to get there, but I still got to master this first. And I'm still working on that. So
yeah. You still
still
running?
running. Oh yeah.
Yeah. How many
Still
how many
running.
times a week you running?
Three?
3?
Three
Damn,
times.
more than me.
Yeah, 3 times a day. I mean, 3 times a week. But now, like the schedule down there, at the new facility is Sunday to Sunday. So now I'm gonna be running every day, running a mile and a mile or two every day. So
Heck yeah. Sounds like you got a plan. You got it all lined up.
I
But I
do.
mean,
Yeah.
it's cool to see where you started with us, where you're at, and where you're going. Because again, you've come in, you've worked, you haven't been afraid to learn, you haven't been afraid to
Right.
try new things, and you're still willing to. And so I
Mhm.
know they're going to take you and continue to mold you, teach you new things, show you ways of doing stuff that maybe we do it differently or they do it differently. Like a bunch of different scaled options. Like who knows what they're going to introduce you to. So I'm excited, man. I really am. And I'm excited to stick with you through it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like in any chance that I come back to Greenville, I'm going to come here. I'm going to come here. I really want to, like continue my Murph, my yearly Murph here. Like, yeah, they offer it down there, but I think that's one of the things that I want to be a tradition, me coming back home to do Murph, and then, after that, I hop. and then go home, and then go home.
Gotta get the IHOP
I
in.
gotta get it. I gotta have it.
Yeah, man. Hey, I mean, when you work hard, you get to celebrate, right?
Right,
Gotta enjoy it too.
right. Another person, Jacob.
Yeah.
I never seen anybody run a mile that fast in my life. Like, and he just do it just normal. Like when he takes off, it's just like wow. So them runs after class, I'm definitely gonna miss it. You know, and when I come here, you'll be writing on the board. What's up, big dog?
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss those things, man. And I think it hit me last Friday, and I looked around the gym, and then I had cried because it was like I started at the other gym,
Yeah.
and then when we were moving things here, it's like, man, to say that I'm gonna be away from CrossFit Taylors, that's like an emotional thing for me.
Yeah.
So
Well, we're gonna miss you. I'll speak for everyone when I say this. I think everyone in here is gonna miss you, all the coaches and everything. But again, you're moving for a good reason.
all right,
Right? You're finding a new home, finding a new family. You're sticking with it. You better stick with it.
I
If I find out you ain't doing CrossFit, I'm gonna be hitting you up every day. Be
am.
like, Tremaine, what are we doing? Let's get back to it.
Nah,
I already know you're gonna be working. You already, like I said, like when you walked in and you told me you already found a spot, I was like, all right, we're good. Like he's gonna keep showing up. Like he's still gonna keep working. Because that's the biggest thing, like you talked about earlier, consistency. You know what I mean? And if we can keep you consistent as you move, you'll continue to see the results you're seeing and continue to get healthier. And that's really what we care about the most is not to keep you forever, but to teach you things that you can take with you and continue to build on, which I have no doubt you're going to do. So
gotcha.
we're excited for you, buddy. We're going to miss you. Nate, you got anything else you want to add in? Throw in there? You got anything else you want to ask, talk about?
Nah, man,
No?
I just know that I love you guys. I wish I could pack the gym up and take it to Myrtle Beach with me, but you guys will always hold like a big space in my heart. And tomorrow is the last workout for me here at CrossFit Taylors,
5:30 a.m.
5:30.
5:30 a.m. crew.
So
Bring it out.
if you are coming tomorrow, for the guys, y'all know how I come to the gym dressed. No shirt.
No shirt,
Sure.
no shoes, no problems.
So if this is your for me, just come with your sweat. I usually come with a sweater,
Yeah, you hoodie.
my little hoodie. But nah, you gotta come out of that. You gotta let your sexiness show, man. So
Oh yeah.
that's
I will miss flip flop and hoodie Tremaine in the winter.
oh yeah.
This man will walk in, it'll be 30 degrees outside. He's wearing a hoodie, gym shorts, and flip flops. I'm like, put some socks
Socks
on
on,
and
yeah.
some shoes, boy.
He always said, yeah. It was one time you said, "Hey, where's your socks?" Like, Cam, I don't wear socks. You might want to start putting some more. So yeah, I
but then
remember
he'll be
that.
leaving no hoodie and just in his gym shorts, like trying to cool down, walking outside.
Mhm.
Oh man, we'll miss you. But hey, I'll at least say we're glad that we had you while you're here.
Right.
I mean that I hate when members leave, but at the same time, obviously life takes you on, and we're glad that the journey while you were here was good for all of us, for you, for us. And yeah, we hate to see you leave, but love you, brother.
Love y'all too, man.
You want to close us down, Nate?
Great thing.
Yeah.
All right. I know I enjoyed that episode sitting behind the camera here, so I hope you all enjoyed it as well. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. It does help the channel out, and we've kind of hit that peak, so bump those numbers up there. Of course, keep continuing to hit that like button. It helps the channel grow and pushes out to more people. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you all next week for another episode of Off the Rails.
Yes, sir.